Connecting. There we go.
Back again.
But who's your favorite DJ Savior? Who's your good Kafuja?
Do you think we should start every new section?
It's like, I've seen. I can't see the screen.
It's a Christmas theme.
I can't rapping.
Rapping.
Ah, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
See, I can't see the screen too well because it's quite far away.
I'm
but
the
I
kid
seem
because my
like
lips always
I'm
grew
a
from
very
my
long way back.
Well, if you want to move forward, then you can.
Everyone moved forward in that last break, and see if I move forward, I go out of the camera's view. So
hug Tom.
Please. Hello. Okay.
Hello,
so, what did Richard say?
Richard said, "What are your views on hypnosis?"
Ah, Joseph can talk a lot about hypnosis.
Hypnosis is one of Joseph's. Yeah, Joseph went to a hypnosis show.
Sure did. It was hypnosist.
And hypnotist.
Mr. Peter Powers. It was so incredible. And it was like a 3-hour show, so I can't explain everything he did.
Hypnosis.
But the coolest thing he did was at the halftime thing, instead of people being bored at the halftime show, he got all the people who he had up on stage do different things to entertain you during the halftime show. He got a group of people, I think it was 3 or 4 people, to search desperately for their lost leprechauns in the crowd, and he got another person to stand up the front and preach about how the end was coming, the rapture. No, you know, the end of the world. What's that called?
Armageddon.
Yeah, Armageddon. And he was like, Armageddon's coming. And at first he was all good, and then at the end nobody was listening. He was just like, look, Armageddon's fucking coming. Just get out of here, stand up, run out of here, just run away. And that was really funny. But the coolest thing was that he had the laughter police, who were people who he got. They had little vests that he put on them and things, and they had water guns, and they went around the audience, and if anybody laughed, he was just like, and got the people who laughed with their water guns.
Up after the show, you was very wet.
I was soaking wet, and because
because he'd been laughing.
Oh, right.
Because if you smile, then they give you a stern look and maybe say, "Hey, none of that." But if you laugh, then they just give you a good soaking. And I got so wet, it was great.
I went to the hypnotist. It was pretty shit house, really. But he did a similar thing in halftime, where he basically got all the people that he had on stage to. He convinced them. Hats in front of my head. He convinced them that they were aliens, and they had no eyes, and they could only see out of their index finger. Like they used, like their eye was on the tip of their index finger.
That's pretty cool.
So they had to like walk around and introduce themselves to other people and just like that, and look at people like this. So that was pretty cool. And he also had these things where if YMCA came on, they had to start dancing, and if a siren went off, then that meant that more aliens were coming. He liked aliens.
Right.
More aliens were coming to the hall, and you all had to get out. You all had to hide under the tables and all that kind of thing. But Richard, to answer your question, my thoughts on hypnosis is that it's one of the greatest Asian horror films I've ever seen.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. It's
fantastic. It's
if
genuinely
you've seen
terrifying.
The Ring, Richard, and you like that kind of thing with, like, you know, with the Ring and that kind of thing, then honestly, get out hypnosis.
Yeah.
It's like 10 million times better.
Yeah. Now, all these tales of hypnosis, do you think they're a bit crack?
Well,
I often think there's a lot of quackery goes on in hypnosis.
No, I don't think so.
It's a lot of guesswork. I was talking to a lot of people who were up on stage in my show, and a lot of them said, look, I was faking it. I was just up there for a good time.
Were you up there?
I wasn't up there.
Oh.
I didn't want to go up there. I hid when you were sleeping people.
Yeah, well, a lot of it, I think, I mean, it sounds stupid to say it's all in the mind, because that's the whole point.
It is.
But I mean,
it's deal.
If you watch Darren Brown, that's a little bit more subtle, and I think it's more effective in that way.
Right.
Have you watched a lot of Darren Brown?
No,
oh, you should.
I just don't get, what I don't get about hypnosis is I don't get that kind of go to sleep, click fingers, lie down for 10 minutes.
Well, some people are more susceptible than others.
What I also don't get is like, you have hypnosis shows where you do this for like an hour, someone is, you know, having to dance when someone says duck or something.
Sure.
But then there's the hypnosis where people cure, you know, addiction,
smoking
or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, what
How
is
is that long term?
Well, because they hypnotise you not to
But
want
if
to smoke
someone
anymore,
walks up
and
to
they
them and
never
says,
say banana.
No, but if someone walks up and like clicks their fingers or says wake up, are they just going to pull out 5 cigarettes and start smoking them again?
No. Well, that's the idea, is that they're not, because they're like permanently. I don't know.
Because I'm very skeptical.
In
about
summary,
some things, but
right.
There was this one. Sorry, Mary.
No, you
just
go.
Before we go, I just like one last bit. there was this one fucking amazing thing at my show where they got this kid who was obviously very susceptible and very like gone, and he went down to him, he got him alone by himself, and he convinced him that his muscles and his body and his bones and all that were completely rigid, like he was just a plank. And they said all your muscles and all the muscles and all your bones and every sinew around your bones is just going to harden, and you were going to be a flat plank.
Right.
And he went like that, and he went stiff as a board. They laid him on 2 chairs, head on one chair, foot on the other, and then a girl about his age stood on him.
Right.
Midway through him.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Halfway through, just stood on him for about 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes.
2 to 5 minutes.
And
2
he
to
just
5
didn't, 2 or 5 minutes, I can't remember how long it was, but he just didn't move. Like he was stiff as a board. He was absolutely rigid.
Okay. Sounds
Like he could hardly lift this girl in real life.
right.
She wasn't fat or anything, but...
Or maybe he was just a very good physical, mimic.
No, well he was, I mean he would never been that strong and otherwise,
I kind of thought that too, and I was a little bit skeptical, but it was amazing. Like, I got hypnotised with, not into a trance, but just body hypnotised, where they had this thing where you went, I think it was like
With
this.
your hands?
Yeah.
I did that too, and your hands got tighter and tighter?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
did you do the more serious one, where it was like this, and you put your hands, it was over your head or something, your hands had to be up.
It was like that.
They
yeah,
did
it was
this
like,
thing.
yeah, that's right, it was like that. And you squeezed your fingers together up like that, and it was like that, and then he was like, okay, everybody in the audience do this, and I was like, and then the more he talked, they had this music playing, and then the more he talked, and he counted, and your fingers got tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, and then he was like, alright, and when you hear this, you're going to be...
A while?
In a while.
Oh.
They
And
did
then-
this,
No,
yeah.
let me finish.
Okay, sorry.
And then it was like that, and then he was like, okay, all the people in the audience, yeah, you can stop now. And then they took their fingers apart, and he was like, alright, there will be some of you who couldn't take their fingers apart, and I honestly couldn't.
I
It was
couldn't either.
ridiculous.
And when I finally did get my fingers apart, because I did a similar thing just
Yeah.
with my hands on the table like that.
Yeah.
When I finally did get my fingers apart, my hands were like throbbing.
Yeah, but it was different again with me, because
Yeah.
you went to like an amateur guy.
He wasn't amateur, he was a professional
But Peter Powers
hypnotherapist.
is really famous.
With a
He's
name
got
like
a
that.
show and things, and it was like this, and he got all the people who were still like, it was about like 20 people or so, to go up onto the stage. It was like that, and then he was like, oh Christ, how young are you? To me, and I was like, and then I had them like that, and he just went like that and touched my hands, and it was just like boom, instant, apart. It was incredible how it felt.
So how did it feel when they were stuck together?
Just like
They were
put your hands
honestly,
together,
it was like
put your
glue,
hands
man.
together, put your hand, no, like this.
No, it was like this, Joe.
And they had this really like they did a
Like
similar
that.
thing with my
Like
hands
that.
at our
It
show.
was like,
And honestly, it was like glue, and it
Ugh.
just got stronger and
It's
stronger.
uncomfortable.
yeah, like
And
that.
you just
It
couldn't
got
do
stronger
anything.
and stronger, and then it
And my
really
hands
hurt.
started to hurt.
And then it was like that, and then you just couldn't get them apart, and it was just like boom, and they were apart.
Good story.
Right, well I'm sure that would have been more impressive if it happened to you.
Yeah.
So Richard, those are our thoughts on hypnosis.
If you ever
in
get a chance to
summary.
go to Peter Powers, definitely take it. It was incredible.
He's got a funky moustache.
And now a segment
No,
about
goatee.
how the largest organ in the human body is the skin.
It is, yep.
The largest organ in the human body is the skin.
Yeah, I didn't quite get that there, Richard.
It is.
I mean,
It
is it like a competition between the organs? Like
Strongest muscle in the human body?
It's the largest.
Bum.
No.
No,
Isn't
no,
it?
it's
The tongue.
it's
Is
the
it?
tongue.
Yeah.
What's the record that the bum has? The gluteus maximus holds some record in the body.
Well, on mine, it's the sexiest.
Teaser! Teaser! Teaser!
Jesus.
What's that?
I don't
Do you
know.
like Christmas?
Yes.
What's
I
not
do.
to like, right?
Yeah, I could really fast on.
Yep, got a website for you.
Great.
Done.
Good. We're
Good,
gone.
that was a great teaser.
Yeah,
It
thanks.
was.
The best ones.
We'll be back right after the break. See you then. Woo.